Hey, what's going on everybody, it's Microphone here and welcome back to another Betweenlands showcase. In today's video we'll be covering a lot of the mechanics that this mod adds. However, Herblore will be covered in its own separate video because it's so big, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out when it comes out. If you missed last week's video, link will be down in the description below, and as always, the download link for the mod will be there as well. As per usual, this video will be split up into multiple parts, and so the timestamps will be on the screen right now. You can also click the links in the description if you want to see a specific timestamp, or if you just want to watch the whole video through, go right ahead, it'll make complete sense. Now let's go right into it with the animator. So the animator is a craftable block that transforms items into new or restored forms. It's craftable with some weedwood planks, weedwood sticks, betweenstone, and a white heart. Animating requires a life crystal, which you place in the left slot, sulfur, which you place in the right slot, and the amount of sulfur depends on the recipe, and the item to be animated, which is placed in the middle. The leftmost bar displays the charge left in the life crystal, the rightmost how much time before the next sulfur is consumed, and the ones connecting the left and right slots to the middle fill up based on how much time is left. The animator is a custom animation that plays when an item is being animated, and if it is an entity, it will be transparent and hover around the top. Entities that you can animate include root sprites, sporelings, and tar minions. Items include the animated Tarby's heart, angry pebbles, a random item, sledgeworm egg sacs, fully repairing damage equipment, and a small animated spirit tree mask. If you use just enough items, you can see all of the animating recipes. You can also create your own animated recipes using a JSON file. This is mostly for mod pack makers and not in survival though. The next mechanic is corrosion. This affects equipment. This mechanic will reduce the effectiveness and attack damage of Betweenlands axes, pickaxes, shovels, swords, the weedwood bow, and the sickle. It will only affect these items while in the player's inventory and the player is in the Betweenlands. An item's corrosion value ranges from 0 to 255, and there are 6 texture variants and tooltip hints that depend on the stage of corrosion. Completely corroded items have their effectiveness and attack damage reduced by 50%, and the max power of a weedwood bow is dropped by 15%. Items will only drop occasionally when using the samurai shears and the sickle, with a chance decreasing the higher the corrosion. The chance of an item corroding at any given second is 4.88 if in the inventory and 13.98 if in the water. If the player is using or swinging the item, these probabilities are multiplied by 1.025, becoming 5% and 14.33%. Corroded items can be purified in a purifier, which resets the corrosion value all the way back down to 0, but they can also be coated in scabbist, which keeps the item's corrosion level at the level it was when coated until the tool breaks. The next mechanic is decay, which affects the player, so the air in the Betweenlands dimension will constantly cause the player to decay. The decay bar is located above the hunger bar. The bar decreases consistently, and as it drops, the player's max HP is reduced up to 3 hearts, and they'll get slowness up to level 3. This is all configurable. The player's skin will get a green overlay displaying that you are decayed, and it can be restored by eating balls of sap, weeping blue petals, sap jello, weeping blue petal salad, or a forbidden fig. Drinking an elixir of ripening will cause the bar to slowly regenerate, and being afflicted by an elixir of decay will cause the bar to drain faster. The next mechanic is food sickness, which affects Betweenlands food items. When in the Betweenlands, player shouldn't eat the same food too much. If a player eats 0 to 21 pieces of the same food, it will have the tooltip taste good. If you go from 22 to 34, the player will start to feel sick of eating that food. If you eat up to 50, the tooltip will change to can't eat this anymore, and the food will only restore 1 hunger point and decay point regardless of the type of food. Eating a different type of food will bring the sickness level down to the other food, and eating Chiral wings will reset the food sickness level of all other food items while maxing out its own. Then we have the middle gem circle, which is a rock, paper, scissors combat mechanic. Middle gems are items that can be applied to tools, weapons, shield, and armor, as well as empty amulets. You get them by purifying their ore. So aqua middle gem equipment is strong against crimson gems and weak to green middle gems. Crimson middle gems are strong against green gems but weak to aqua gems, and green middle gems are strong against aqua but weak to crimson. Aqua middle gem equipment has a chance to give you resistance to when you're attacked and to apply a weakness effect to the attack target. Crimson middle gems have a chance to damage the attacker like thorns when the entity equipped is attacked, and to give a strength and knockback boost to the player when attacking. And green middle gems have a chance to provide a healing boost to the player when doing damage, up to 50% of the damage dealt, and to give absorption to when attacked. If you have multiple pieces of equipment enhanced by the same gem, the chances of getting the benefits stack, but the effects do not. For instance, it won't give you absorption 4. Swamp hags, wights, tar beasts, Peat Mummies, and the Dreadful Peat Mummy can sometimes have one or more modifier applied. Middle Gem enhanced entities, including the player, have middle gems circling around themselves depending on what's applied, and middle gem amulets can be equipped onto tar minions, tamed Harlequin Toads, tamed Spiritual Faces, Emberlings, and tamed Chiromoths. Next mechanic is the Radial Equipment menu, which is a unique way of equipping items. If you press the right key when an equipable item is in the inventory, the menu will be opened. Items that can be equipped but aren't have an option to be equipped. Items that are equipped have the option to be unequipped. Currently equipable items are amulets, the Bark Amulet, Lurker Skin pouches, Magic Item Magnet, and any of the rings. And finally, we're going to cover the events. So this mod adds in a few environmental effects that will spice up your time in the dimension. The first of which is the Aurora, which is a rare event that causes streaks of varying neon light to appear in the sky. During the event, Will-o'-the-Wisps will not disappear when approached, allowing the player to collect them as an item. Next event is the Blood Sky, which is a rare event that turns the sky deep red, allowing swamp hags to spawn in every biome. Swamp hags and peat mummies will spawn more often and be faster and do more damage. Structures made of mud tiles can appear, spawning crypt crawlers when the player gets near. They'll disappear when the event ends. Next is the Dense Fog, which is a weather event more common than vanilla rain but lasts less time, and it causes greatly decreased visibility. It is always active around the White Fortress. Players may see distant, distorted silhouettes known as them. They are purely cosmetic. Next is Heavy Rain. In the Betweenlands, occasionally it will pour down rain, causing puddles to generate en masse on opaque blocks open to the sky. These puddles can even destroy crops. Structures made of mud tile can spawn sludge worms when the player gets near. They'll disappear when the event ends. The player's visibility will be diminished due to a thick fog that appears, and the thunderstorm event can occur when the heavy rain is happening, causing lightning to thrash the sky. Next is the Rift, which is an event that causes a crack, break, or split in the sky. They will display a wide and random variety of visual effects. Light will increase in the dimension depending on how open the rift is. When the rift closes, the Betweenlands will become as dark as a cave. Then we have Winter, which is a seasonal Christmas event. It is constantly active during the month of December, and it will turn a lot of blocks into a frostier theme. Whites will even take on a new Santa-based texture. The sky will turn foggy white and the ambient noise will change. Swamp water will slowly freeze over into black ice, which will melt back when the event ends, and presents can randomly spawn throughout the landscape. All hostile mobs have a chance to drop mince pies. The Snowfall event can occur, which causes snow to pile up on the surface. Finally, we have Spook, which is a seasonal Halloween event. It is constantly active between October 22nd and 31st. It turns a lot of block textures into a spookier theme. For instance, sap trees will ooze blood and roots will turn into creepy tentacles. The sky will turn foggy orange and a jack-o'-lantern face can be seen in the sky. The ambient track will change and miniature floating skull particles can appear. And that is going to wrap up this Betweenlands video, everybody. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. Make sure you have those notifications on so you don't miss the next upload. Link to download the mod down in the description, as well as to the Betweenlands playlist, the Betweenlands wiki, and the Betweenlands Discord if you wish to join that. And that's all we have, so peace out, everybody.